Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. So guys, there's some serious buzz swirling around the NFL right now, and it involves one of the most dominant defensive players in the league, Myles Garrett. That's right, the Cleveland Browns star edge rusher, a guy who's been a nightmare for offenses ever since he entered the league, might be heading to the Washington Commanders. And honestly, if this deal goes down, it could be one of the most impactful moves we've seen in recent years, especially for the Commanders' defense and their entire outlook for the upcoming seasons. Now, let me set the scene for you. Cleveland, as you probably know, has been in a bit of a rebuild mode this year. After a rough start, they're sitting at 3-7, clearly in full rebuild mode following the Watson disaster. They've made it clear that they're open to trading assets to build for the future, and Myles Garrett, being a top-tier player and reigning Defensive Player of the Year in 2025, is at the top of that list. So, sources close to Cleveland are now talking about a potential deal that could be a game-changer. The Browns are reportedly willing to accept a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft plus a fourth-round pick in the same year, a significant investment, but one that makes sense given Garrett's impact. Let's talk about what Garrett has done this season. The guy has been absolutely lights out, posting 5 sacks so far, which is an incredible number at this point of the year. He's not just racking up sacks, he's also making his presence felt all over the field with 34 hits, 48 quarterback pressures, and a pass rush win rate of 21.8%. That's first in the entire NFL, folks. His pass rush grade from PFF is a staggering 93.9, indicating how dominant he's been in every game. Plus, his EPA per rush is plus 0.38, meaning he's effectively turning every snap into a positive play for his team. Now, imagine what Garrett could do in Washington's defense. The Commanders have been building a solid front, especially with Chase Young, Darren Payne, and Jonathan Allen. But adding a player like Garrett would take that unit to a completely different level, the best front four since the 90s Giants, no doubt. Think about it, Garrett lining up alongside Chase Young, who's been a force when healthy, Darren Payne and Jonathan Allen anchoring the middle. That's a terrifying four-man front for any quarterback to face. Projections for this potential acquisition are eye-opening. If Garrett joins Washington, experts believe we could see an additional 28 total sacks from the front four alone. That's nearly 3 per game. His presence would boost the pressure rate from around 32% to possibly 44%, forcing quarterbacks into hurried throws and turnovers. This would elevate Washington's defense from a middle-of-the-road unit ranked 18th in the league to a top-3 defense, making the entire team more competitive and dangerous. When comparing Garrett to the current edge rushers on the Commanders, he's a different level. He's generating about 6-8 more pressures per 100 snaps than James Smith-Williams, and that's a huge difference. The cap hit for Garrett would be around $19 million, which fits comfortably within Washington's salary cap space. They have about $42 million in available cap space, so this move is financially feasible without sacrificing other key pieces. Now, let's talk about the Super Bowl odds. Right now, Washington's chances are sitting at plus 8,000, which isn't great. But with Garrett's addition, those odds could improve significantly, potentially dropping to around plus 1,800. That's a massive jump, and it signals that Washington would suddenly become a much more serious contender in the NFC, especially if they can keep building around their star-studded defense. This move isn't just about adding a great player. It's about shifting the entire balance of power in the NFC East and the NFC as a whole. Garrett's presence on the field would send a message to the league. Washington is serious about competing at the highest level once again. It could also force division rivals like the Eagles and Cowboys to rethink their offensive strategies, knowing that they're facing a front four that could dominate games for the foreseeable future. Of course, there are questions. Will Cleveland actually pull the trigger? Will Washington be willing to part with their future assets for a player of Garrett's caliber? And what about the chemistry? Can Garrett integrate seamlessly into Washington's scheme? All of these are valid questions, but the signs point to this being a real possibility. And if it happens, fans should get ready for some serious fireworks on defense. In recent seasons, Washington's defense has shown flashes of brilliance, but consistency and pass rush pressure have often been their Achilles heel. Adding Garrett could be the piece that unlocks their full potential, transforming the team into a legitimate playoff threat, and who knows, maybe even a Super Bowl contender. It's rare to see a move this impactful, but if it comes to fruition, it will be one of those defining moments for the franchise. Now, imagine the atmosphere at FedEx Field when Garrett takes the field in a Commander's uniform. The crowd would go wild, and rightfully so. Watching him team up with Chase Young would be a sight to behold, a true nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. The NFL is a league where game-changing players make all the difference, and Garrett is definitely one of those players. And let's not forget the long-term implications. If Washington can secure Garrett now, it sends a clear message to the rest of the league. They're serious about contending and building a dominant defense. It also sets a standard for other teams in the NFC East, pushing everyone to raise their level. The NFC East has always been known for its fierce rivalries and intense battles, and adding a player like Garrett into the mix will only make it more exciting and competitive. In the end, this potential trade is about more than just one player. It's about the vision for Washington's future. They're looking to build a team that can not only contend now but sustain success for years to come. Garrett's arrival could be the catalyst that accelerates that process, turning the Commanders into a true force in the league once again. So what do you think, Commanders fans? Is this move something you're excited about? Do you believe Garrett will bring that much-needed spark to our defense? It's an intriguing possibility, and honestly, it could redefine the franchise's trajectory. Keep your eyes peeled, because if this deal happens, it's going to be a game changer. And as always, I'll be here to bring you all the latest updates. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep supporting our Commanders through thick and thin. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move for Myles Garrett? Are you excited? Do you think it's the missing piece that takes our defense to the next level? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to our team. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. Let's keep the passion alive, and here's to hoping we see Garrett donning the burgundy and gold sooner rather than later.